They'll first need to be logged into the network organization. Then go to Administration and Organizations. Go to the Intake Settings tab. This tab shows several options of intake options that you can track. By different sections, we have the consent, maps, search, intake options, various ones, and household summary box options, as well as appointments. When tracking any of these options, there are a few ways to do it. For some, you'll notice that there's a value. So that indicates for some just need an option where if you want to be able to track settings of age of adult or age of senior based on your food bank's processes, this is where you would enter those values. Same with forced review period. Every option has a little blurb of what the section is referring to or what option that you will be turning on or off. In these columns on the right, there are three options: on locked, on optional, and off. So on locked, we'll do attendance in this case. On locked means I've chosen that I want all of my agencies to track attendance. Now in this case, there is an additional user permission that needs to be added, but if I were to log into an agency, I don't have the option to turn this off. So it's locked across the board that all agencies will be tracking attendance. On optional would be an example where, let's do that for anonymous here. On optional means the agency can choose whether or not they'd like to track anonymous clients. And then we have an off option. So the off option is saying that it's the opposite of on locked. The agency does not have a choice, and this will be disabled across the board. The last column has a little blue folder. By clicking on it, it will give me a breakdown of which option my agencies have decided to track. So if I were to save my page here, and before I switch, just a reminder that I selected attendance to be on locked, and I selected anonymous to be on optional. If I switch to an agency, let's go to agency 3, and we'll do the same process, but now I'm logged into an agency. So going to the intake settings, and if I scroll down, you'll see that these aren't necessarily the exact same settings as the network. So at the network, there wasn't consent. It wasn't fixed across the board, but this agency has decided to track something. If I scroll down to intake options, you'll see that attendance isn't here because it was a locked selection. So it was locked to on. And then you see that anonymous is here because the agency has the ability to choose. So they get to decide whether or not they do want to enable that feature for their organization. And that's how the intake settings process works.